This question says factorize completely the following quadratic expression. The expression is 5x squared minus 9x plus 4. So 5 is the coefficient of x squared. 5 would be a. Negative 9. Sorry, there's a negative in front of the 9 on the left side of the 9. So negative 9 is the value of b, and 4 is the value of c. So let us outline this. A is equal to 5, b is equal to negative 9, and c is equal to 4. First step. Now the next step is to multiply a to c, a by c, to get this value, the ac. So a is 5 and c is 4. So 5 times 4 is 20. So you got to write 20 here. That's the value of AC. Now here now, the value of B, which is negative 9, comes here. The next step now is to find two factors, two numbers. When you multiply them, these are two factors. When you multiply them, you're supposed to get positive 20. And when you add them, you're supposed to get negative 9. Now this is a negative 9. And when you add two negative numbers, you're supposed to get a negative number. A negative plus a negative is a negative. And a negative times a negative is a positive. So therefore, these two factors must be two negative numbers. Two negative numbers, when you multiply them, you get in 20. And when you add them, you get in negative 9. What are these two negative numbers? When you multiply them, you're supposed to get positive 20. A negative times a negative is a positive. And when you add those two negative numbers, you're supposed to get negative 9. What are these two negative numbers? Let's think about it. So after some trial and error, we have found these two numbers to be negative 5 and negative 4. So negative 5 multiplied to negative 4 will give you positive 20, and negative 5 plus negative 4 will give you negative 9. You can actually prove that in your calculator. So here we have called up to an online calculator. So negative 5 times negative 4 is equal to a positive 20. Here it is. And negative 5 plus negative 4 will give you negative 9. So the two numbers we are looking at is negative 5 and negative 4. So these two numbers will come in the numerator of these two fractions. It doesn't matter which one you put first. Since we called negative 5 first, we'll put negative 5 here, and then we'll put negative 4 here. Okay? Now, the next step now is to divide these two numbers by A. A comes below here. All right? So A is negative 5, is 5, sorry. So we have to put 5 here, and we have to put 5 here. Now the next step is to simplify these fractions where possible. So negative 5 and 5 can simplify. If you divide negative 5 by 5, you'll get a negative 1. And if you divide 5 by 5, you'll get 1. So this fraction here can simplify to negative 1 over 1. But this fraction is already in its lowest term, so it remains as is. So the simplification for this fraction is -1, because 5 divided by 5 is -1, and -5 divided by 5 is -1, and 5 divided by 5 is 1. And this fraction is already in the simplest form. It remains as is. So now we are ready to introduce the pair of brackets that will lead us to our final solution. A pair of curved brackets side by side. And in each bracket, you put an X. Right. Now, now we look at the simplified version, and the denominators will form the coefficient of X. So this one that is below here, we can put it here as a coefficient of X. And this 5 in the second fraction, the denominator 5, can come as the other coefficient of X. Now the numerator, -1 and -4. So this -1 will be the constant for this first one here. Here you have 1 as our coefficient of X, 1x, and our numerator here will form the constant, which is -1. So 1x minus 1. And here now, in the second fraction, second bracket, the 5 is the coefficient of X, and -4 as the numerator. -4 will become the constant of this second bracket. And this is your final answer. This here is the final answer for this example. So the factorization completion of this quadratic expression, 5x squared minus 9x plus 4, is actually 1x minus 1 in a bracket multiplied to 5x minus 4 in another bracket. Now remember, when you're watching these videos, always watch it with a pen, pencil, and paper for you to be actively participating in the presentation.